The goal for this podcast is to better our understanding through conversation. Communication is one of the easiest, yet hardest things to do. Whether that's communication of feelings, thoughts, or opinions. But through communication, new perspectives begin to take place. Throughout the various topics and opinions discussed on this podcast, we hope that we can add value, understanding, and a few laughs to your day. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Bruce. I'm joined here with E. What's going on, bro?
How you doing, bro?
Good, man.
Yeah, man. Well, if we both, speaking to one another, we can hear one another, then that means both of us alive.
100%.
What a time to be alive.
Another perfect union, bro. Today's topic, bro, how you want to phrase it, man? How you want to do it? Dating? Self?
I mean, I think, you know what, man? Let's just go with it, man. Just like go with the flow, and then I guess the title will come. It'll come. Yeah.
So we're just gonna hop in the conversation, then, man. Like, before we hopped on, you was talking to me about self, right?
Yeah. Like what we wanted to talk about, what we initially set our hearts on discussing today is like the dating scene and how things unfolding in today's generation in regards to dating. And we definitely got some dope ideas on that. And I think it's a lot to be discussed in terms of that overall picture. Yeah. And that's a big picture, man.
It is.
Like dating, if dating is the picture that we want to, we looking to explore, or we looking to take and to magnify. Boy, there's so many different avenues, so many different angles to attack, such a topic. However, before we can even get to the bigger picture, then sometimes we have to take and we have to check the picture that's in front of us, and that's that mirror.
100%.
And before I go to talk about anything, man, I'm gonna start off with self. And not to be selfish, but it's been many times in my life that I have been a selfish person, though, because in those situations I've put self first above everything else. To be completely honest with you, I think in a sense a lot of us, we tend to do so. When we feel like, when we get tunnel vision and we feel like, okay, boy, I got to make things happen, or I guess the weight of the world is on my shoulders, when, to be honest with you, we never by ourselves, we never alone anyways. God is always with us. He's
100%.
within, and he manifests himself throughout our lives and throughout us
in various ways too.
Many different ways. So I'm gonna start with self. Like I used to really like think about like this dating thing, and used to be focused on many different things as it pertains to dating. But the one thing that we as people have to often have to realize and analyze about a couple coming together. There's two people. Before you have two people in a couple, within a couple, then it's only one person. Mm-hmm. But it takes two to come together to say, let's make this work, or let's see what we have, and let's add our stuff together.
100%. Team up.
That's right. The 100%. Collabo.
Yeah. Bro. Perfect. Hey, bro, that's the perfect way to put it. Collab.
Let's collab. Yeah. But to be real with you, man, dealing with a collaboration of any sort, you got to make sure that you gotta know who it is that you're looking to collaborate with, and when you start to explore that, that's when things get interesting, because I mean, to be honest with you could look at somebody and somebody could be, you know, man, they could be the essence, the very essence of, you know, of fine.
100%,
you
bro.
know,
Baddie.
all that, you know. But like you have to sit there and you got to ask yourself, okay, if I'm looking to jump into this situation with this person, I'm looking to collab with this person. What am I collabing with this person? What reason am I willing to collab with this person for? Like, not even, you know, attacking the other person or breaking down the other person, you know. Let's start with self. All right. What am I looking to get from this? What am I looking to bring to the table? Am I really just trying to be a one-hit wonder? Am I really looking, you know, like, am I looking to really bring some, you know, am I willing to bring something into this person's life that doesn't currently exist? Am I looking to be a cancer to this person? Am I looking to be a leech to this person? Because it's like, really and truly, bro. You know, I hate to say it, but like, everybody got a reason for what they do.
100%, bro.
You know,
everybody got motives.
Exactly. And like, that's why I want to start at today. You know, I guess that was a long introduction, but bro, that's where I want to start at, because it's just being real with self. A lot of times, man, we not there. We not a buck with itself, and then we easily frustrated when we start to collab with somebody, and then somebody starts to call us on our stuff.
Bruh.
We get frustrated. We get angry, because even if we feel we are telling the truth at that point in time, it's a situation in which now, you know, your partner, who's supposed to be your partner, you know, who you collaborating with, now all of a sudden, they don't feel like you holding your weight. They don't feel like, you know, you are the responsible type. They don't feel like, you know, you worthy now of collaboration with them.
100%.
Then that's when things get, you know, now all of a sudden, you know, you butthurt. Because you like, yo, so what? I'm David Ruffin. You know what I'm saying? I made y'all. You ain't nothing without me. You know, you go into that, bro. You know.
The defense mode, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's real.
Exactly.
That's 100% real, bro.
And it's just like, you know, but let's stop, pause before we go any further, and stop and ask ourselves, how did we even get to that point? To now when you defensive. Right. Now, so let's go to the defensive part. What if we started there and worked our way backward? What would that look like? Because, okay, if the other person isn't trusting you, why aren't they trusting you? What have you done to, you know, to gain or to garner this type of attention that you're now garnering, that you're now gaining? And with that being said, you know, if that's what your road in the block looks like, right? So now you go back to the beginning stages. Now you got to go back now and, okay, what did the beginning stage look like? What were you thinking? Why are you here? What did you ever have to bring to the table?
100%.
Because I feel like this here, like if we all trying to feast, if we all trying to, you know, really prepare, you know what I'm saying, a Thanksgiving of sorts, a day of Thanksgiving, if we all trying to, you know, prepare this, then everybody got to be willing to bring something to the table.
Big facts, bro.
You know, whether, and see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing.
What?
Even with that, bringing something to the table, nothing can be, it's funny about that, because that's when certain people look at things that's being brought to the table and say, oh, that's all they got was they was gonna bring some plates, some plastic plates and plastic forks. Now you take away them plastic plates and plastic forks, who bringing them? Who bringing them?
We're gonna eat with.
Yeah, exactly. Now don't get me wrong. Now there's some fine china over there, but really and truly, everybody ain't trying to bring that out around certain family members. Real. If you know what I mean. I hate to say it. Type. Some people look at certain family members and say, "Hey, the gremlins coming. Hey, get the plastic." You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, hey, you got to
100%,
guard
bro.
that because that might walk tonight.
Bro.
It ain't got legs,
ain't
but
gonna
it might
treat it
walk.
like you would.
Exactly.
100%.
It ain't stainless steel no more. You know? But it's like, you know, like seriously though, on you know, on a real tip,
Yeah.
it's like, what are we willing to bring to the table? What can you? Because it's like in life, I think the easiest thing to me in life is to blame somebody else. The hardest thing is to take accountability, and it's like another thing that's trying or challenging is just being honest with self and saying, you know what? I can't even, you know, I don't even think I need to even get myself into this situation. Or being real with yourself and saying, I'm not ready for this. Sometimes that's the realest thing you can ever say.
Bro.
Instead of saying yes, being so quick to say yes, even if that young lady may feel like she's on a timetable. Like she feel like, I'm getting older, I need to be, you know, I need to settle down, I need to have, you know, and that's one thing, credit to a lot of women, because a lot of women tend to think that way.
Oh yeah.
A lot of guys, we just not that mature, that young.
That's right. That's
you
so
know,
true.
and to be honest with you, sometimes we get caught up because we want to be the man, because that's what that's what sounds good, is being the man. And you know, it's like, but when certain situations are brought to you on demand, do you understand what it really means to be the man?
Bro.
It's like that's the part, you know, that's the part that gets us, because it's like now all of a sudden,
1000%.
you know, dog, like, man, all this she asking to me, man, you start questioning. It's that momentary pause.
Bro.
I don't know if I'm the dude for this task. You ain't gonna say it loud, but you.
Nah, that's real. 100%.
She low key demanding excellence, a certain level of excellence from me.
Right.
Can I rise to this occasion?
100%, bro.
But then, go ahead.
Man. Now I was gonna say, like, the first thing you touched on was, you said defense mode. And then the easiest thing it is to blame somebody else. This is why I am like this, or this is why I did that. And it's like, when you have to re-engineer and backtrack on your actions and take ownership, because a lot of times you want to take ownership over the good things. Like,
I did that,
bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Look
my
around
boy.
here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you sitting on, and it's like, when it comes to taking ownership over a mistake, or taking ownership over something some of your shortcomings,
or a flaw. And let's just be honest with you. That's
100%.
You know, it's a mistake, but it's a flaw. Sometimes, like, everybody comes equipped with a flaw.
Everybody, dog.
Everybody, and that flaw, that could be the one thing for you know, for a lot of people. A lot of people be like, man, that's the one thing keeping this joker from being, you know, like really being a champion, a true champion. He got that one flaw, or she got that one flaw. But it's like, then you start to question, can they really like rectify that flaw? You know, it's just like, a flaw is nothing more than a stain. And that's oftentimes the trick. When something is pristine, or it looks white, you know, it's not like white linen. You get that, and then all of a sudden it's flawed, it's stained. Now, how in the world am I gonna get the stain out?
100%.
That becomes the question of all questions. You go asking other people. You go asking grandma. You ask 3 generations back, whatever. Hey, mama,
I'm telling you,
how you get stains out? But like, what you go about doing? You know, I've heard it all, man. But it's like that flaw that's within us. It's funny because we don't mind figuring out. We'll go around asking other people their opinion on getting a flaw out or a stain out of, you know, some linen sheets, whatever. But when it comes to the flaw that's within us, we don't go around asking all them questions about that.
100%.
Why? Because,
bro, that's crazy. I think for me it's like communication, right? So like, I'm gonna read something and you let me know if it ties in, right?
Okay.
So it's this podcast I was listening to called Work in Progress Podcast, and the episode is titled Till Death. It was a song by Andy Mineo, a rapper, and he made a song about relationships, pretty much. So he was like, when you trust somebody you love, you essentially give them a loaded gun. in hopes they'll never set it off. You give them access to your heart. And in giving them that, then you give them all the ammunition to hurt you in hopes that they won't. So when committing seriously to somebody, you have to give them all access. And to give them all access, you also give them access to hurt you. So to give love, you give access to being hurt. But to get love, you also have to be open to being hurt. So subconsciously, I feel like we all understand that, some people more than others. And in some cases, people will try to get access to love without giving access to hurt. And that's why that's when the relationship becomes one-sided. And I think with that being said, I think the communication part, right? We don't want to be that vulnerable with somebody because it's like,
especially when you felt it before.
You feel me? When you felt that before, bro. And I think that's where it comes in at the whole. For me, the way I look at it is like giving love. And then being like, is this person gonna meet me? What are they bringing to the table? The question you asked before. Am I gonna give them all, and then they just gonna leave me hanging? And then if you're not communicating, or if you're not able, and that communication process in a relationship, man, is so hard.
It is
for me because it's like
everybody speak a different language,
bruh, and you gotta figure that out. I ain't even figure my own what you
the love language. That's and here we go. Here comes the love language. So. It's like before getting to we can start off talking about the dating phase all day long, but we first must understand. We must understand. First of all, we must understand our own love language, and that sounds selfish. Why you gotta understand your own love language? Because number one, before you get yourself into a situation with anybody else, or as we call it, a collaboration with anybody else, Somebody, matter of fact, this is a question that probably should be asked off rip. You know, what you have to offer? What can you bring to the table? Like, to be honest with you, like, any job you get on, they ask the question. You go to a record label, you know, they ask you, you know, like, seriously, why should I? Like, what makes you different than anybody else?
100%.
You know, so what have we started thinking and questioning ourselves first? Like, what is my strong suit? What makes me an asset? You know, like really, that's what the question is. We should stop and ask ourselves, and then we should stop and ask, what is my love? What is my love language?
100%.
What do I speak fluently in?
How do I like to be spoken to? How do I like to be communicated to?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Do I really like getting cussed out? You know what I'm saying? Some people, I like me a good cussing. Some people, for real. Some people like that. They don't love me until they cuss me out. Hey, I don't think she care. Be like, wait a minute, why you say that, Bubble? Man, she ain't never once cussed me yet.
Bro, that's real, bro.
But
that's
again,
hilarious.
It's crazy. But sometimes that's how abuse works. That abuse starts manipulating the mind into believing, bro, this is what love really look like. You know, like I hate to say it, some people out there feel like, you know, somebody go upside their head. That's love. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he don't love me. But he ain't never went upside my dome before. You know, he ain't never, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never split my wig. They say they ain't being loved.
That's what they was used to.
Exactly.
You know, they never been shown nothing different.
Exactly. So that's the first thing. We got to understand our own love language. What would you say your love language is, bro?
It's a book. You familiar with the book too? The five love languages.
I haven't read it,
but mine was physical touch, and I want to say hold on, I gotta look them up.
No, I'm just asking you off the rip.
Oh, off the rip. Yeah. I like somebody that can like communication and physical touch. You know what I'm saying? And acts of service. Somebody that can do things for. Let me see how to put this. Acts of service meaning like maybe if I like Reese's cup, I come home and it's, you know what I'm saying, you provide me with a Reese's cup, like little things like that. You know what I'm saying? That just show love. Like, dang, it ain't even got to be said. Things like that. So it's like, I appreciate that. And when it comes to somebody else, that's big that you said that, because you have to understand that you are with a whole nother human being that operates different than you. And sometimes we come into a relationship with so many expectations. Like, everything sounds good in my head, me personally. Everything I think of. And it's like I build this fantasy sometimes that seems so real in my head without even having actually gone through the situation.
Is that truthful though? Does
What?
everything sound good in your head when you turn back around and you question? I don't know about that.
You're right. You're right.
I'm just because that becomes the marquee point in which you go out now and you ask the thing that's in your head. You go out and ask somebody, "Hey man, what you think about this?" You only asking them that because you're questioning in your own head.
100%.
So does everything sound good?
Nah, that's real. And then when you get that second opinion, I think that's necessary sometimes. I think that's good to have in a partner too, for the simple fact you can't always trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you can't always trust yourself. Like your heart, like you, oh man, one day you feeling this thing or you feeling this song, you listen to it again, you ain't even feeling it so much. One day you like going here, you eating a certain type of food, the next day you ain't feeling it like that. So it's like sometimes you can always trust yourself and you need a second opinion, somebody trustworthy, of course, somebody that's, you know, that you can combine in. And with that being said though, you said something earlier that I want to touch on, being able to receive feedback. For instance, like being able to receive something from somebody after they've said something that you may not agree with. Like, let me see if I can find it. But anyway, okay, so you spoke on having a partner, right? Somebody that's, are we speaking on self? But sometimes with self, we're speaking on that second opinion. If you have a partner, let's just say like women, I have a partner, my girlfriend or my wife at the time, my wife now currently, but my girlfriend, you meet a woman that should level you up, somebody that can show you your blind spots, but you also have to be that type of person to be able to handle that conversation when it's brought to you. You know what I mean? Which kind of like circling it back to what you said earlier about going on a defense mode and blaming somebody else. You got to be able to have conversation either with self or be able to accept the conversation that's coming at you. Because a lot of times, if you've never had that conversation with yourself, like if you never self-checked yourself and then somebody bring it to you, it's hard to accept it because it's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I should have been able to see that, or I should have been able to. Did that make sense?
No, definitely.
I don't know if I took it left or whatever, but
nah, man, you took it right where it needed to go at. Number one, from what you said, hence the title, self-check or self-correct.
Self-correct, bro. You know
self-correction. However you want to go with it. So that's what we here talking about today. And man, so I was listening as I was listening to you, man. I jot something down because I think it's an important question to ask too.
What's up?
Let's talk about trust for a second.
All right.
Like, because I think that's big.
That's big.
I think everybody value trust, but then everybody looks at trust differently. So if everyone values trust but looks at trust differently, then automatically you have an issue. Because now with the fact being that we all speak different love languages, then to be honest with you, we all out here speaking different verbiage anyways. So with that being said, trust sounds different to everybody, and trust implies something different to everybody.
100% true.
So let's jump on that word for a second. Trust. Without looking it up, when you hear trust, what comes to mind?
That I can count on you. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
So count on. So for me, I can depend on you. So I can count on you. I can depend on you, and with that, I can share with you.
100%.
Because you don't mind sharing something with somebody you feel you can trust. Now, with that being said, it was a bill. Can you trust your feelings?
I don't think always. Definitely not always.
Now,
and this is a tough one.
Now, that's interesting. Listen to how you started that off. I said, can you trust your feelings? What did you just say?
I don't think always.
I don't think. I asked you, can you trust? And again, I don't
feel
think.
you though. You know what I'm saying?
So right there, because you started it off with the I don't think, then that means it can't be trusted.
That's real.
Because, it's a saying. It's a saying that's been out for It's interesting because it's saying here, you know what most saying they go out of style. You know, like on fleek. That went out of style. It came and went. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like day and night. It was out of here.
That's real though.
But check this out. One that hasn't gone out of style, I'm in my feelings. So when somebody's in their feelings, really and truly, can they be trusted when they in their feelings?
100%. Nah.
Because
you already know what it means when somebody say that. Already.
Or this song that put me in my feelings.
It already changed the mood. That's 100%
the whole vibe,
real, bro. That's real. That's real, man.
Can you trust your feelings?
It's go ahead, bro.
Okay, now check this out. Now check this out. On a flip, I'm in my feelings. I'm feeling this. Can you trust your feelings? The things we say.
100%, bro. 100%.
The things we say should be questioned. Like really, the things we say, and we say,
we roll it off the tongue so nonchalant without even second guessing it.
Exactly. But the things we say the most, we should always question it.
Yeah, bro.
We should. You know what I'm saying? Self-check. We should question it. What am I saying? I say it so much. Why am I saying it?
100%. Words mean things, man. A lot of times we don't really take into consideration. And when you're talking about feelings, right? Like, and dealing with another person, like you said at the beginning of the conversation, you was talking about asking yourself certain questions before you go into a relationship, right? And I think that goes into it too, because you could get caught up in your feelings for certain stuff. And then certain actions that you do with that person can open up some feelings that you weren't ready for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I think your feelings are, this is just me speaking. This is my opinion on this.
What's up?
I think your feelings are at their strongest point at the beginning.
Yeah.
When you just find somebody, first of all.
It's a flood.
It's a tidal wave. It's like, man.
100%.
It's like, bro, like your whole voice, everything. Hey, I mean, you told her your whole voice. Hey, I mean, bruh.
Taking them long pauses.
Well, I
ain't seen you in a minute.
But again, listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to it. Hey, bruh, I think she might be the one. What was wrong with what I just said?
I think she might be the one.
I think.
You should know. You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't have to question it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't have to question it.
So immediately, a good homeboy should go back and say, bro, why you think she the one?
Facts.
What you mean, bro? I mean, like that.
A lot of times.
I'm just, hey, like for real, right?
Bro, that's hilarious. Because that's really how it really go.
Yeah.
That's really how it goes.
But again, that's what we have to learn to do. We have to learn to take the challenge.
Yeah.
Take the challenge. Because it all starts with self, but we have to take and provoke our own thoughts. Provoke them.
Do you think that feelings are more in line with preferences? Because I'm thinking about compatibility, right? A lot of times we think about how compatible we are with somebody. Do you think? I know for sure compatibility and preferences are totally different things, but I think preferences and feelings are more in line. You have to be careful because you could be like, man, I prefer her hair like this, or I prefer when she say like this, or when she wear this. You know what I'm saying? And after that newness wear off, after the beginning of, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, you feel me?
All of a sudden that baby hair don't matter no more.
So I think those are two in line because they so quick to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, to me, man, when I think about feelings, the first thing that I think about that connects with feelings to me.
What's up?
In the world, I think it's seasons, bro. I look at feelings like seasons. Now you got 4 seasons to pick from. Feelings, you got it's multiple feelings. Like, but the thing about it, what brings them, what brings them both back around is the fact that they ever changing. Because even if you in spring, sometimes spring can deliver both aspects of winter and aspects of what? Summer.
Yep.
So it's like, bro, like you and your feelings. So you in the season. Bro. You in your season.
Perfect analogy.
You in your season.
Analogy, man.
You do better just saying, you know what, I'm in my season today.
Perfect analogy, dog.
Like, what season are you in? Because that season will tell you a whole lot. I feel now that's just hilarious. By how we stated, I'm feeling ice cold today, boy. Ice cold. They better not bring it to me today. I got a cold shoulder for you. You know what I'm saying? Or they come back and they might tell you, boy, look here. Boy, I'm feeling fire today.
Boy, I'm feeling like springtime.
There you go. Boy, what that mean? With spring, spring is new. Everything you feeling vibrant, you feeling new. You feeling, you feeling like right now, man, boy, look here. All I got on me is growth. I'm on my level today. I'm growing.
I'm just thinking about like if it was a day of the week, bro, we went through 7 days of the week and how frequently, you know what I'm saying, we changed by Wednesday, what my boy gonna be feeling like.
Boy, look at you talking about days of the week, man, hours. It's too many hours in a day, man. Though, like for real, boy, you can wake up and I'm talking about, man, you can wake up, man, I ain't gonna hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, man, by 12 o'clock, man, I ain't no killer, but don't push me. You know what I'm saying? Now you there went over the park. You know, it's just like, bro, man.
By the end of the night, you playing Ice Cube. Today was a good day.
Hey, and that came right before I'm a head buster.
Bruh, that's 100% real,
yeah,
man.
I mean, see,
that's feelings is crazy.
Again, bro. Can you trust your feelings?
Can you trust them, man? Bro, that might be the title right there, man. Like, I want to ask you something too, though, man. Like with the feelings, right? So, how do you
navigate?
How do you navigate it, bro? How do you get past that to logic, or if logic is not the right word? Because another thing,
I like logic because logic is the one thing. Because to be honest with you, it's almost like you have to have a fail switch. You do, because if not, you're gonna do everything to the ultimate. Yeah. And when you hit that ultimate, it's no going back. But that logic, you know what? Yeah, my significant other or myself, starting with self, you say, you know what? Again, feelings. You can be in your feelings to the point you done messed up. You done messed up so bad to yourself. You sit up there and I went home and I watched TV until the TV went off.
Bro,
maybe you ain't never been in love like I've been in love before.
My man was going through
like
it.
That song, he was in his feelings, right? So you think about if logic never set in. That brother would have stayed in the sunken place.
100%.
Matter of fact, that brother probably would have. It would have intensified to the point he would have felt no reason to even be here no more.
100%.
Matter of fact, he would have felt no need to even see tomorrow. So guess what? What he does, he takes the rest of his life off.
Because feelings is like that.
They fluctuate.
You know what I'm saying? Up and down. I'm talking about drastic ups and downs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's real, bro.
So it's like with that, but logic is the thing that puts everything back into perspective.
The equalizer. Exactly.
And you say to yourself, he set up their man and, he went and started singing.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? You know what the song sound like? All that, right? Then after that, he might have had a bad night, a bad day. Then logic set in. He didn't, he went and slept on it. He woke up, you know what? I can't go through yesterday again. Today, I'm going to fight my way through today.
100%.
I got too much to live for. Then understanding that, what I'm saying? Yeah, love is powerful. But you know what? One thing about it, if I continue to live my life, I'll meet love again. It's it's 100%. Like that. But it's like we just gotta understand like the logic is the hardest thing for us to remember that we have.
It is.
Like that's the batteries included, logic. So it's like you sit around and you look sometimes you get mad, so you look for the worst in every situation. Or you ready to just take in.
Stay on that though, because we do that. We find it bro, when let's just say, like today I forgot something, right? And remember what you was about to say, but we find the worst in the situation. So I'm the one who forgot it, but I'm getting mad at the way my wife reacted to it or what she said to me. It's like, bro, now why you had to say it like that? Why you? And it's like I'm finding instead of looking at self and saying you the one who forgot it.
Yeah,
I'm the one who forgot it. Why am I mad at her?
Yeah,
you right, know what I'm saying?
Man, like. You're right, bro. It's like, and it becomes a domino effect.
It do.
And before you know it, man. Not she and her feelings.
Exactly.
Everybody, like, to be honest with you, the whole house on 1,000 now. You know what I'm saying? The wall sweating.
100%.
Not a dog walking on eggshells. It ain't safe for nobody.
That's true.
It's like that's the stuff, man, that we gotta be wary of that and cognizant, because it's like if you're not careful, man, it's just like. And we'll do it to ourselves. Mm-hmm. We'll put ourselves in the worst situation, sometimes just by trying to prove a point. Sometimes prior to getting it to the point, and on this note, shout out to my wife, like, and again, it's getting ready to get personal because it needs to be. You got to address self sometimes. And man, let me tell you something, man. I did one of the most ignorant things, man. Number one, I know her love language. I should, by this point. I should.
I understand that.
So that makes it even worse when you should know it, but yet, still and yet you do the opposite. Mm-hmm. Now, because in your mind, you allow yourself to believe, man, I got to teach her lesson now. But is it, like, at what point? What is it? What's the cost? What is it worth? So it's like with this, she'll ask a question. And then in my mind, I'm like, okay, you asking this question, but you already know the answer to this question. So now I'm going to tell you a lie just to see what you going to say now. But again, I know she don't like me to lie. She don't like lies, but I still do it. Now, you see what I'm saying? Now I got to live with that.
That's the flame. That's not
exactly.
Yeah,
but now the reason why I did it, because in my mind, I got a reason to lie. And my reason was because you sitting up there, why you keep questioning me about stuff you already know the answer to. So I feel like now you trying to, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a setup. Yeah. It's a bait. So now, all right, cool. I'm going to take the bait, but how you like this? That's ignorant, right?
We do it all the time.
But I'm saying, bro, like.
That's bro, nah, you right about that. I'm laughing because of the how on point that is, man. Because, man, bro, we'll do that, and then in the moment, we'll win the moment. But
it ain't even winning the moment.
But I'm saying, like, in that moment, we'll feel like, yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Or the second it come out your mouth, and the sad part about it, and it happens in a second. So again, once it hits the air, you can't pull it back.
You can't, bro.
It's
and
like
what you didn't account for was the domino that was gonna fall after.
Exactly.
You know
and in your mind, you like, yeah, I gave it to her that time. But
right.
Now all of a sudden, she don't never let you live that down. So now you're like, boy, she giving it to me now. Just
and
like,
yeah, man.
Yeah,
bro.
And then it's just like, it's so many different ways, man, that go. And it's like, again, growing up, man, wise men always told young men, just, like, again, you don't, first of all, I heard this one, you don't start stuff that you, first of all, you don't start stuff you don't feel you can finish, or you don't start certain things that you, like, for example, when you first start dating a person and then you overdoing it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, don't set them up with this fairy tale belief that you can do, these great and extravagant things all the time.
Yep.
If you do it, initially, that one time, let them know, look, I can't do this all the time, but I'm doing this to show you that this is how much
Nah, I like that, because we're like, and I'm guilty of it, man. Rolling out the red carpet, bringing the champagne, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you just a baller.
You know what I'm saying? Figuratively,
yeah.
Like, got the, you know what I'm saying? We just, hey, baby, this how we do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, what is it called? It's called bringing your representative. You know what I'm saying? You bring your representative to the beginning of the meeting or the relationship, and then it's like after they leave, then it's like, I thought you ain't who I thought you was, or you ain't
exactly
and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
that's real, bro. That's 100% real.
But
I want to say something on that, bro. Like before that, what was the question you asked before I said that?
You talking about your feelings?
Nah, it was like how I got on a thing of a representative. You said something. You said, "Oh, if you're not ready to, you lay out the red carpet and you're not ready to fulfill that, right?" I want you to finish your point, but I want to say something on also like baggage that we have with ourselves, right? And like working through that, right? Because everybody comes to a relationship with baggage, or everybody brings something to the table. And it's like, for me, it's like bringing the baggage and asking the question, am I willing to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? You ask the question like, what am I willing to build? What am I bringing to the table? Good and bad. You know what I'm saying? And giving the person, first of all, accepting, if you're asking the question, if you're willing to accept what they're bringing to the table, and then they also got to be willing to accept what you're bringing to the table, good and bad also. And I think the commitment that you guys make, if you're willing to work through that, is that glue that keeps it moving, right? Keep it moving forward. Because a lot of times it's like, oh, I ain't willing to deal with that. I ain't willing to work through that. And it's so quick to like dismiss that without regarding that, like, bro, I'm flawed too. Like you mentioned at the point, I got flaws too, man. So I think that's a major. I think that, not to get super deep on it, but it's like, man, I think that's a major key, because a lot of times we forget that. You know what I'm saying? When you said that we point out all the wrong things about something when something go bad, that it popped in my head then, because it's like, bro, then you got to realize that, bro, like you know what I'm saying? And it's like the decision you got to make amongst each other, like, yo, man, let's work through this. Like how we gonna get through this? How we gonna move forward?
It's like, man, like a person like a person that's been in 30 relationships, right? 30 on 30. Shirty.
Dirty 30.
Shirty. But they not sturdy. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's like find fault in every relation, every person that they've been with. But then it's, you know, what's the common? It's self. I've been there with each and every one of them. But it's like, man, yeah, Yolanda. Man. You know what I'm saying? Can't tell her nothing.
I'm telling you.
You know? She always got something negative to say. And then it's like, okay, all right, that's not Yolanda.
Right.
All right.
What happened to Shirley?
Yeah.
You know, her brother and them, and I'm like,
and Misha and them over there.
Where it's always somebody else.
Yeah, that's it's real. Like LaShelle. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro,
kind of finger like,
you're like, hold on now. And when you and LaShelle stopped talking, that was last week. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but then it's like the whole time you like, bro, you like, but Smoke, like, oh, bro, like, you don't never notice that you be doing this, man. Like, man, I don't never be doing that though. I don't never edit, man, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You know what I'm saying? They be quick all my life. You know what I'm saying? That's you. You know what I'm saying? You always, now all of a sudden, again, you see it happening. And it's just like, and it's two homeboys talking, but then the same thing, you like, bro, nah, this brother will never understand, but a lot of times he do it to us. Yep. It's like, you know, but getting back on topic, getting back to self, I'm gonna say this here, you know, we need to stop, and this from the question that we asked earlier about, you know, trust and feelings, you know. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a step beyond that, and I'm gonna ask this question.
What's up, bro?
You have to stop and ask yourself, can I be trusted? Like,
that's real.
For real.
100% real, bro.
And to make it even more personal, would I date myself?
With everything good and bad.
Just knowing everything you know about yourself on the deepest level, because that's self. Yep. That's like one of them situations where it's like the gloves come off. It just became real, because now you know yourself through and through. Can I, or would I even date myself?
Man, I feel like that's a loaded question, because half the time and I'm speaking of myself, half the time I've been scared to even be real with the person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I can't, would I date myself? Can I trust myself, right? If you can't even be straight up with the person that you want to be in a relationship with, I mean, if you can't even be straight up with yourself, how you expect to be straight up with a person you want to be in a relationship with? You know what I'm saying? And I'm guilty of that 100%. And it's like, bro, that's a deep question I think everybody should ask, bro. That's super crazy, bro. Because that's one of the questions that's hard to ask, man.
Yeah, because that's when you become front and center with your enemy, because your enemy is your inner me. And it's like now you looking that person directly in the eyes. But now here comes the psychology behind all of that. Because as you looking that person, you know, eye to eye, you sitting there thinking, you know what? Even though I know you, even though I know your roots, I know your darkest, your dirtiest secrets. I know inside it's some good to you. So now all of a sudden, this is psychology. You sitting there thinking, but you are me. I am you. With me knowing what I know about you, would I even push you to certain limits to get you? You know, it's like you start questioning this. Because if I already knew I don't like that, why would I do that to self?
100%.
It's that cross-examination. Then that's how deep it is.
That's how you got to do it, though, bro.
But it's like if you can sit there and really, you know, hash those thoughts out with self, it makes it easier when you're dealing with somebody that's other than you. Because that, bro, that's heavy. When you sit up there really getting down and dirty with self, like, you know, deconstructing self just to reconstruct self. Now, you know, it's like, because you're going to start off a lot of times, the hardest part about that conversation is the dirt, the filth that you already have on self.
Yeah.
So automatically you're going to think to yourself, I'm not worthy.
First thing, bro.
But if you can get past that part and see, you know what? Really and truly, I might be misunderstood on a lot of things. I might not be perfect. But I do want to have a sense of morality about myself. I do want to have a sense of, you know, dignity about myself. I do want to have a sense of, you know, just achieving my goals about myself. All of these different things, you see it, those are building blocks.
100%.
Those are definitely building blocks. So, you know, when establishing that, you getting ready to, once you've had your self-evaluation and you deem yourself worthy enough to actually, you know, to actually go out and you know, if you're a young man, whatever, you know, hey, I would like to, you know, in the old school, I like to go in court, you know. But you go out and you say, you know, I'm ready to date. I think one of the most important things before you start looking at dating anybody, or before you even look at wasting anybody's time or wasting your own at that point, you know, hey, I got 3 questions that I would like to ask you. And to be honest with you, it's just not, you know, this isn't a one-way street. You know, I'd be glad to answer the same questions or whatever 3 questions you would like to ask. But, you know, what's your 3 points of strengths and what's your 3 points of weaknesses?
I like that.
And immediately, now I know people, it might be a lot of people that's listening in and they're saying, on the first, you know what I'm saying, y'all ain't even dating yet? Like, because to be honest with you, for me personally, I would love to know before, like, because to be honest, I'm one of these types of people. And a lot of people will probably take it as though, that it's too early to be sitting up there, man, and throwing flaws out there, because you know how it go. Then they all of a sudden they want to judge you. But I would like to know that at least I'm with somebody that's imperfect.
100%.
If somebody, like, I'm gonna be real with you, I run from the people that, you know, just like got their stuff all together all the time. They don't make no mistakes. They, you know, flawless.
Those are the worst ones, bro.
That I'm trying to tell you.
With the worst inner turmoil.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I'm sitting there and, you know, we sitting up there and we are, you know, we building.
I was about to
building,
say.
the building blocks.
You taking it serious.
Yeah, we starting to build. We entertaining one another, right? So now all of a sudden, we sitting up there and we putting all this out on the table, and I see, okay, well, sis ain't perfect. Now you question, is she worth it though? Is that something, you know, like, and she can question the same. And the good thing about this is the fact that the one thing I think that we as people hate the most, and it like, for example, like, just, you know, molesters. It's like, with that, it's like you Like you took away somebody's innocence, or you didn't even give somebody a chance to make a choice.
Yeah.
What we love, and that's why God is so beloved, is the fact that God allows us. God doesn't rule like a dictator. He gives you
Bruh.
He gives you a choice. Now, in the end, in the good book, it says, he says, choose me. He says that. So he's giving you an open book test pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not forcing you to choose him. He gives you a choice to make your own decision.
100%.
That, man, that's in humanity, that's what we love. Being able to make our own decision and to choose.
I want to add something on that too, man. Like, I've been doing a lot of searching on spirituality and stuff like that, Christianship, and it's like us as human, like we born with a sinful nature. Like we can't help
Born
that.
into it.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We can't help that at all. But God is like our brake. Like if you think of a car, like our braking system. You know what I'm saying? If you on the gas the whole time, accelerated the whole time, it's gonna crash out. But God is that braking system, that self control. And you spoke on doing that inner dialogue that you have with yourself. I feel like you can't do it alone all the time. I think, like, you know what I'm saying, just talking to him, having a conversation with him, man, he'll put people in your lives, or he'll just show you the direction that you need to go. So it's like, with that, I just wanted to add that when you said that, man,
right,
because
bro.
it's like, that's real, because a lot of times we'll get stuck in that because it's you against you, but you need sometimes that outer perspective to look outside.
You're right,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? So nah, that's real, bro.
You're right, bro.
100% real.
Well put, man. Well said. Well stated. Yeah, so, it's just like, it's the many aspects of trust.
Yeah, it is.
That's, like, and what that definition, matter of fact, I think that's something else too. Like, we often, like, getting into the dating scene, man, we start wondering, man, like, because you don't want to over talk the first, you know what I'm saying? Because before you know it, man, you mess around, that's them long, you remember back in the day, them long nights on the phone and nobody's saying that no more. Because everything already done been said, within the first week, But, like, early on, like, that's another question just to ask. So, I'm gonna call out one word. You just give me your thought on this one word. And so, the one word I want to call out, and I just want you, just give me, just this is how to be betrayed. You say, well, what, trust. What does trust mean to you? And just see
where it goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just have that dialogue.
Exactly. Then some, then she might, she'll respond, give her answer, and then she might come out with a strong word that she strongly believes in, and she say, okay, love. What does love mean to you? So automatically, instead of asking, what's your pet peeve, right now in the sense you're getting it. Because the first two words that come out of one another's mouth, that's the most important. And their thoughts.
And it's figuring out your value systems.
Exactly.
What you value amongst each other.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's building blocks.
Yeah, bro.
Like, yeah.
I like that, man,
Yeah.
a whole lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because that's big. And I think, like, for me, I'm going to speak for myself, right? I think a lot of times, like, sex was on my mind a bunch. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let's keep it, man. Look here, bruh. I appreciate you bringing that up because I know some of the listeners are like, man, ain't neither one of them being real, so we ain't gonna talk about no boonkies. Yeah, down south in Savannah, we say boonkie.
Hey.
Yeah, so they ain't gonna talk about no boonkies.
Nah, bro, that's real. Cause it's like, bro, I ain't like I ain't always been the person I am today. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
But again, and let me say something about that. You haven't always been the person that you are today, but the other side of you is still in you.
100%.
And see, and that's the thing.
And that's the choice you was talking about.
Yeah, that's
the choice you was talking about, bro. And the reason I brought it up was like, do you think you should wait on having sex, like with dating and stuff like that? Like, what's your perspective on that?
Here we go.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought we were talking about yourself today. That brother couldn't wait to get this. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Or like,
You know the interesting thing, man.
What's
No,
up?
you didn't open the can, not so. I know some people personally, man, that are saying, "Nah, man, you got to test the good. You got to taste the goods." How you gonna test that? How you gonna talk about, man? How you gonna talk about spending the rest of your life with it? You ain't but you know the 100%. Thing about it. The thing about that is, I say this here to combat that. So I do agree, and this is gonna sound crazy. I do agree with people trying to maintain their virginity.
Yeah.
Like wholeheartedly, I see the value in that. What value do you see? People probably asking. So the value I see, it's like this here. I've always kind of functioned like this. What I don't know can't hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people will say, well, I don't think I agree with that. But I'm talking about it in the sense of like, if you don't know anything about sex, it can't hurt you.
100%.
As far as you ain't getting no cravings, you ain't sitting up there, man, you ain't shaking, you ain't sitting up there talking about you going through withdrawal. You know, to be honest with you, you ain't that, you know, not, and this is the crazy thing about the sinful nature that we live in. You still gonna think about sex.
I was about to say that. You still gonna
think about it.
That's a natural urge.
You think about it, and you know what I'm saying. I sure like to take a bite out of that, you know. But again, the thing about it. Now, granted, you thinking about something, and then you yearning for something, or lusting strongly after something. Like you got the shakes. Like it becomes, you know. There is such thing as a sexual addiction. People get addicted to it. You know, I've been there before.
Me too, bro.
I know you sit around there, man, and boy, look here, time don't even matter no more.
Man.
As long as it get to that certain hour you need to be to, you know.
1,000%, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
1,000.
Now I'm about to go there. You had your moment last week. I guess I'm gonna have mine today. I'm about to embarrass myself. So man, I remember, man, being a teenager, man, thinking to myself, man, but I can't wait to get home.
Bro.
You done seen somebody, man, super fine in your mind, and you like, bruh, I gotta make it.
I gotta get this one off.
Yeah, I gotta make it. Like, hey, that's all you gotta say. I gotta make it.
100%.
Man,
bro.
It's funny, like, man, I realized that at a young age, man, the power of the mind is something sharp. Bro. Like, and it's crazy because back then you didn't have all this technology you got today. So it's like you would take a mental picture of that person. You will hold that mug in your mind, and when the first thing you run home to the restroom,
bruh.
It was on. It was
man.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, dog. Like, can you tell the difference between when you had sex outside of marriage versus having sex outside of marriage versus having sex inside of marriage? Like,
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, first I got to go back and answer the first question you asked. Up? You were talking about sex before marriage.
Yeah.
And so, well, I did in a sense. I answered it, but again, it's just I feel like it's, you know, when two people embark upon a journey together, so you're not sitting there thinking, see that question that, you know, a lot of people, I gotta taste, you know, I said I gotta taste test it, man, before I'm trying to spend the rest of my before I try to spend the rest of my life with it. But you gotta, with that sense, you thinking about it wrong. If both of y'all never had something before, okay, what's the definition of a mistake then? If you're learning together,
100%.
You learning on the see at that point of just learning, man. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, if I was an actual virgin and then like my wife was an actual virgin and we were starting together, learning together, man, that's fun.
That's 100%.
It's like it's like a mistake. What the mistake? The only mistake that can happen, it ain't even no mistake. It's we gonna discover something that we both like
with somebody I like.
Exactly. And
you feel me? That's bruh. So go ahead, my bad. I ain't
no, about to say you ain't worried. You know, you ain't worried about no body count. You ain't sitting up there.
No expectations at all.
You know, you sitting around there. You know, Brenda was better. You know what I'm saying? All that. It's like all that's out of the window.
100%.
But going to the next question. What was the next question again, man?
Oh no, it was. Can you tell the difference between when you had sex outside of marriage versus having sex inside of marriage?
Yeah, I hate to say it, and again, it's because of the fact that you've experienced it. before.
Big facts.
So automatically it becomes a comparison thing. And not that you're going into a situation trying to compare one person to the next. That's not what you're doing. It's just the fact that you shouldn't even be thinking questions like this here. Man, I remember when I was single, boy, it used to be fun when I was single, or we was more wild when we were single than, and the thing about it, it's like, it's crazy, but that's, people legit, bro. People think like this.
I don't have the same thoughts, man.
It's like, and then I got a question for you now.
What's up?
How in the world, why in the world would God create it for? Why would he create it to be you have sex, have more fun and dramatic and more interesting experiences outside of marriage, and then you get you like, this is what you're supposed to be growing and this is supposed to be the apex of your life, is when you meet your significant other. Mm-hmm. But now all of a sudden the apex is a point. But then all of a sudden, you didn't climb a mountain and you made it to the point now you looking down and said, boy, it was better down there. Like, I
think it's like, for me, the way I look at it is like, once you reach the top, they say it ain't nowhere to go but down, because you got to go back up another mountain. That's how I look at it.
But see, that's a mindset thing.
What you mean?
That's a mindset thing. Again, like we talked about this in essence the other week. You think about it, man. When you at the top, bro, like, they say it gets lonely at the top. Mm-hmm. And you said in essence there, there's no way to go but down. I mean, yeah.
Once you reach the top of the mountain.
Once you reach the top, but my thing is, again, the apex of your relationship, which is, marriage. Why do we arrive at the top? Now we looking down thinking that it was better down there. That doesn't make, what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense to me.
You know what? I was like, I think what for me is like, you mentioned like we had these thoughts, right? Like, would I have sex with outside of marriage? And one thing I think with having sex outside of marriage is that it creates like this deep connection with the person you having it with, and it's confusing for either one of y'all or both of y'all. And what I experienced is that, I have sex with this person and it's like, man, I don't really know how I feel about you anymore, and I done built this deep bond with you and the sex was good. You know what I'm saying? And I think now that I'm married, romance isn't just about sex anymore. And not every time we have sex is like super amazing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that doesn't define my relationship now though. That's not a deal breaker. Because now we committed to each other. The big word is committed to each other, and we connect on deeper levels other than sex. So it's like now with this person, instead of just having Tinder and these one hit wonders, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like you building and you committed to this person. So you're like you said, that growth begins. And I think that's why it's better having sex inside of marriage instead of having it outside, because the whole growth capacity is just like a forward moving motion, you know what I'm saying? Together, you know what I mean? It ain't even about sex. It's raising kids together, or having conversations together, picking each other. I forgot what that's called. When
picking your brain.
You know what I'm saying? Picking your brain, and you find intimacy in that. And I think that's the fun part. Like, that's when it begins to get fun, because it's like, you aroused without even having sexual contact.
That's a different level.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's when something is beyond, like you said, it's beyond just sex. It's, it's really, man, that's a whole different. It's a whole different. So you bring up a good point, man. So it's past physical. It becomes, so a lot of, it's interesting because, so at first it becomes, the thought is, well, I don't mind having a physical journey with her.
100%.
Or she, I don't mind having a physical journey with him. Or, it's like, hey, let's be real. They be like, ooh wee, boy, I already know she got some good snatch.
I'm telling you, bro.
How you know she got good snatch? That's just, how you know?
We don't.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, snatch.
Bro, I'm talking about, bro. She could have the most covered on thing in the world, bro. And you still like, yo.
But But look at, hey, but see, that's how the mind works.
It is.
That's how, that's how that lust and the sinful thoughts work. We look, and boy, look here.
Bro.
Bro.
You taking, you about to break your neck.
Boy, look, I'm talking about, man, it get to the point, it get borderline perverted in our minds.
It do, bro.
But you looking at it from behind, you like,
Staring it down,
yeah,
bro.
man,
I'm
look.
telling you, man.
Before you knew it, you was like, you in the trance.
You making trips you ain't even got to around the store. You don't walk this aisle 10 times.
Nothing. Ain't picked up nothing either.
100%, but that's crazy. That's real though, but like you said, that's how the mind works.
Yeah.
And I think, I just think the questions is what's big, because it's like when you have not to super harp on this topic, but I think it's important. When you have sex beforehand, it's confusing because you don't even know if you like this person for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The question,
yeah.
Because man, it's crazy. Like, okay, peep this. If you meet somebody in the club, they've had a few drinks, whatever, so drinks have been included. Now all of a sudden, first of all, they look different under the lights anyways, or like they're off.
Right? That's it.
So now all of a sudden, yeah, so now all of a sudden, man, it goes down in the bedroom.
100%.
And you next to the person, they don't say nothing, you don't say nothing. You just, you know what I'm saying? Just, well, I guess I'll be leaving, whatever. Whatever, the awkward,
Slowly grabbing your stuff, yeah,
exactly.
Man.
Then all of a sudden, it's like, in a sense, you start listening to things that you didn't listen to before. The music down now, it's no music at all. So you focus now. And just from a response that somebody give, you be like, it's something a little ignorant,
100%.
But then it's like, man, if you would have took time, you would already knew that ain't what I'm going for.
Right.
Or she would have knew that ain't what she going for.
You go back to the feelings.
That's right. What you was feeling. You was feeling.
Bruh, that's it, man.
Yeah.
It can't be. It can't always be trusted, bro. 100%, man.
Yeah.
You had something else to add?
Nah, man. It's on you, man.
That was really it, man. That's really all I wanted to touch on, man. It was just like just our different viewpoints on it, how we view different topics, how we deal with different things in relationship, and I'm real big on like making sure you commit, because it's like looking back on my past relationships, and now that I'm married. Everything I heard about marriage was negative in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess it was kind of half and half. When I was younger and I was talking about marriage, or I heard things about marriage, I wouldn't even really want to ask him, but it sounds so negative. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be tied down. I'm gonna be doing this.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, come on. And every person that I looked at was married. It looked it, and it was kind of
defeated.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, then it's like, okay, now I can see the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think marriage is for everybody. I'm not gonna say that, but I think if you have to change your viewpoints on it. If that's something that you want to look for, if you're looking for something different, and I will approach. Let's just talk about like with women. I started to approach women differently because I wanted something different. You know what I'm saying? And I had to change up
your delivery,
my delivery, and I think too, listening to other people's stuff. Like I've heard a lot of negative noise about women, or growing up, you know what I'm saying, coming up, like either we be on podcasts or TVs, and you got to not generalize women as a whole, because you hear a lot, women just want your money, or they want to mooch off of me, and stuff, you know what I'm saying? What?
And also it's about the stuff, like you gotta think about it, what you eat, and if you eating a lot of junk, then that's what, like the body 100%. Becomes junk. So it's like they say you are what you eat. So if what you taking in, like musically,
100%,
and calling the women bees and
R&B music,
yeah, it's like you remind me of my Jeep. Now, like that, like never look at a Jeep, the same. Like,
100%, bro.
It's like, but we gonna stop that. I ain't even getting into the R. Kelly thing. We gonna leave that alone. Gonna leave that alone. Just looked on on the other day on Netflix, Surviving R. Kelly. But so that we are still surviving.
That's 100%, bro.
So we gonna leave that alone.
100%,
That's still a
bro.
delicate, But my thing is, it's like the music that we're becoming filled off of. It's like,
Great way to put it.
you start noticing, like, and this is the trip. Whatever you listening to, you start to look like what you listening to.
1000%.
The dudes out there calling the women B's and O's, most of them, they looking like the music they listening to.
100%.
Dudes that's on that old school R&B, they looking like old school R&B. It's just like you start to become, it's the invitation. The gateway, when the gateway of the ears open up, then it's an invitation to come on.
1000%, bro. 1000%.
So yeah, and I'm not, what I'm saying, because people probably listen now. Oh, now they want to get on the music. Like, what can I do?
It's just being. I think it's just what you saying is being mindful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being mindful, dog.
And just like don't become consumed by it, or it's like a lot of time, man, people, they bathe in the music. They, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, they marinate in the music.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, before you know, like that brother calling himself the sex symbol. That's who I am.
That's real, bro. But I'm telling you, I'm telling you, man, you become it, because that's all you listen to.
Yeah.
And like I said, you have to switch it up. You have to get that variety and hear the different content. Like, it's a song that Bizzle got a song out that's called "Hold You Down," and it's just a different perspective, a different type of music, or a different type of what is the word I'm looking for? Substance in the music that's just different, man. It's just like, wow, it's true. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's a dope song, man. Yeah, man, that's a dope song that you should listen to. It's called Bizzle, "Hold You Down." Dope song, man.
That's what's up, man. One day you're gonna have to play a little clip of that song, man.
So man, I can add it in here, man. I edit it in.
Go ahead, and before we go, closing remarks is this here.
Yeah.
Again, like the way it kind of the way it ended was, a little differently how we started it today, but we're gonna go back to how we started it, and I just want to reiterate the importance of a self-check. You go to the doctor to get a checkup, but sometimes you got to have a self-check. You know what I'm saying? A self-evaluation, self-correction.
I like that.
It's important. It's definitely important. It's like we can sit up there, again, it's easy to sit up there, man, and to just destroy the next person, It's like, but when it comes to self, we get real, and that's the trip.
We make every excuse.
You notice with an injury, we get real delicate. It's like everything ginger. Somebody else come to try to poke it. No, don't.
Bro.
Wait, hold on.
You looking at somebody else like, you don't take all that, bro.
But then check this out. When it's on the other, you don't mind. You the person now. You going up there and you, where hurt this? It's like, but you ever notice that though?
That's real, especially with colds. It's like that with colds. You get sick.
Seriously though, man. Like, shout out to the women, man. And hey, I got so much love and admiration for you. Same to the brothers too, man. Look, just we got to level up both ways.
100%.
And the level up starts with us. We got to take one step above, dealing with ourselves, understanding who we are, understanding where we fall short.
Yep.
And really and truly, and we got to present like, if we are trying to appease someone else, if you got a restaurant and you trying to bring somebody into your restaurant and you selling your menu to someone else, it's like, to be honest with you, ever thought about this, man? When you go to most restaurants, man, I don't care how many restaurants you could have been to, the most restaurants in your life. The more you go to, you start realizing most restaurants got the same thing.
Yeah, the commonality. Yep.
So with that being said, what sets your menu out apart from everybody else? That's what it becomes. You know what I'm saying? If you sit up there, man, and you got some crab or a gratin or whatever. Mm-hmm. So over here, crab au gratin tastes rotten. But over here, you know, that's the best I ever had before. It's like, what is it? You selling yourself. So with that being said, if you preparing yourself to go places you've never been before, then to be honest with you, it comes a point in which you have to be brutally honest with yourself and say, you know what, I'm not ready for that right now. I'm under, you know what I'm saying? Right now, this home is under improvement. Like, this is what I'm working on right now. I'm closed right now.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I ain't doing business right now. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
It's like, no, I ain't even gonna waste your time right now. You know what I'm saying? Sweetheart, you ain't ready for me. Because guess what? I ain't ready for you.
Right.
You know, you can't love somebody until you properly understand what love is, first of all. And you love yourself to understand, look, I'm not trying to wreck myself and I'm not trying to wreck somebody else's life. So, you know, with that being said, am I perfect? No. And my whole point of bringing all this up today is because I see how imperfect I am, and, you know, how much I want to work on self, and how much I understand that I need to work on self, because these things are if they are never fully, you know, dealt with, it becomes a build up. And, you know, build up, dealing with the teeth, that's plaque. You know, build up, you know what I'm saying, that can clog arteries, dealing with the inside, you know. So it's
and
like
it deteriorates.
Exactly. We don't want a build up. You know, it's like the only build up we trying to get is when we building up towards success. That's the only build up. Other than that, I not want it. If the kids say. On that note, I'm done.
with it, bro. Appreciate that,
All right.
man. That was fire.
Yes, sir.
This has been the Real Talk Podcast. Give us a like, give us a share. See you guys next Thursday. Peace.
Real talk.
We appreciate you giving us a listen. If you like this episode and would like to engage with us or support, reach out through our social media platforms, linked in the description, and tune in every Thursday to check out new episodes. See you next week.